everyone. Welcome to Lives Worth Telling. I'm your host, Jodes, and my podcast is about digging deep into people's stories and providing them with a platform to share their life and their experiences with my listeners. One of the key reasons in creating this podcast is so their families and friends can have a record of their life, their stories, and their voice forever. One of my favourite things is hearing about people's stories, their triumphs, their hardships, but most of all, I love hearing about their resilience. I really hope you enjoy listening to my guests share their lives with you. I want you to have a few laughs and allow yourself to be immersed in their stories. Well, welcome to episode 2 of season 2 of Lives Worth Telling. Welcome to our new listeners in Stockholm, in Brussels, San Jose, California, Singapore, Sweden, and South Korea. Our Facebook page is updated regularly with guests' photos, and thank you for all of your amazing comments. In today's episode, we meet the gorgeous Elisha. Elisha is such a positive person and has worked really hard to overcome some really challenging times in her life. Elisha chats openly about her life and the time it has taken for her to heal her wounds. Some parts of this episode may affect those with mental health issues, drug addiction, and alcoholism. However, this woman can have a laugh and has such a wonderful energy about her. So settle in and ride the wave with us. Enjoy. Oh my goodness. Today's interview, I haven't known this person for very long, but we clicked immediately and we started working together a few years. We haven't worked together though for a few years, but I'm going to say welcome to you, Elisha.
Thank you.
Oh my gosh. Look, we're going to have lots of laughs, Elisha,
we always do, don't we?
Don't we? If we recorded the first hour of our chit chat.
I know.
Is that airable? I'm not sure.
I don't think so.
My gosh. Okay, so background in childhood. I want you to tell me about your family, parents, siblings, and what life was like for you growing up.
So I've got a brother that's 8 years younger than me. So we've got different dads. So growing up, my very early years that I don't really remember, my mum and her sister were quite close, and so they had children at the same time. So my cousin and I, we're only months apart, born months apart. So we grew up like siblings for quite a while, and I had a lot to do with my auntie. I was quite close with my auntie, and so I never really sort of lived in a household with a mum and dad. Mm-hmm. Even when mum remarried, it was very volatile, that relationship, and didn't last long. Okay. So it was, and I lived with my auntie a lot. Like mum wasn't well, so mentally.
In Melbourne? You're in Melbourne?
Yeah, I've always been in Melbourne, never strayed. Yeah. So, and always sort of like the eastern suburbs. So, yep.
So you lived with mum and auntie in the same house?
No. Well, when I think the first couple of years I did. Okay. But then they sort of, went their separate ways. But when mum used to go into hospital quite a lot, so then I would go and live with my auntie.
Oh, gee. How old were you then?
Oh, gosh. This was throughout my whole childhood.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Okay. And your brother he came along later on?
Yeah, he came along a bit later. But then, and so mum would still need to go into hospital. And my auntie felt like he needed that sort of male role model. So he would go into foster care, which was.
Wow.
Yeah, yep.
Okay.
So my auntie did try having him, like looking after him, but he was quite a handful, my brother. So,
So how old were you when he went into foster care at that time?
Oh, gosh.
Like a teenager? Or?
No, younger.
No.
Yep. Oh, maybe from when he was 2, so what, I would have been 10.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So he was quite young then.
Yes, yep.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah.
So did you know his dad?
Yeah, so they were married for a couple of years. Okay. And I only sort of really remember them arguing a lot. And it was like, I think of it now as an adult, and I think he was really trying to win my love and things like that, but he was just this man that was taking attention away from mum. So I sort of didn't want to have much to do with him. So I wasn't very nice to him from what I remember. But yeah, they didn't last long. And he left and never had contact with my brother again. Yeah, yeah.
So did you know your dad?
No. I'd met him once when I was 15.
Okay.
But that was it. He'd moved on and had his own family.
Gee.
Yeah.
So did you keep in contact with your brother while he was in foster care?
I would visit him. Like I would go and have sort of a couple of hour visits. Like I remember it was really hard actually. I remember seeing, those big stripy Tupperware bags.
Oh, yes.
I remember seeing one of them at their house and thinking I could fit him in that. I'd be able to fit him in it and just put him in the car and they wouldn't know. I always sort of had that. I used to miss him a lot. So
I guess how would you as a kid comprehend, well, why is he at a different house and then I'm in a different house? Like, why are we in different houses?
Yes, I don't.
Looking back.
And I think I had a lot of guilt about that. Even as a child, I felt guilty. And my auntie had like a 3-bedroom unit, so that she had a room for her daughter and then there was a room for me. So I guess I probably looked at it as, there's just no space kind of thing.
Okay.
But
last in, first out.
He
has to live somewhere else because he was last in.
Yes, yep. Yeah.
Oh,
so that was always.
Did he come back to the home at any point?
He did. Okay. So it was never long term.
Okay.
And then eventually there was
just while your mum was unwell.
Yes. Yeah. So when she'd have her times in hospital, or he would go for respite as well because he was quite a handful.
Okay.
He was diagnosed.
Gee.
He was diagnosed with ADHD, when he was 3, and I look at it now and knowing what I know now in early childhood, it's like there's no medication that can fix this. Yeah. It's his environment. It's what he's being brought up around,
right.
I forgot where I was going with that.
So he moved back into the home.
So he would, and then eventually there was a foster family that had him on a regular basis. Okay. So they became like a family, and Mum would be able to call them directly, if she ever needed a break. They were beautiful, they really did love him and care for him like their own. Yes. Yep.
So does he have contact with them now?
He does. Sadly, the foster father passed away just last year, I think it was. But he doesn't have regular contact.
No, okay.
It's just sort of that sporadic calls and things like that.
Yeah. So what age did he then move back completely, or he was just a bit on and off, going back and forth?
It was always on and off, and then he was 11 when Mum died. So when Mum died, he went and lived with them permanently. Yeah.
So how old were you?
19. Yep.
Jeez. So, I mean, thinking about, like, you still had to do, I guess, all those regular things like going to school and functioning in. Everyone else probably felt you felt like everyone else had different things happening in their houses, but what you had was how your life was.
Yes.
What was school like for you? Did you and your brother cross paths at school at all?
No, because of that age gap. Yeah. Yes, yep. And I went to. It's funny. I was only talking about it with Eve this morning. She was asking me something about primary schools, and I think I went to 4 different primary schools, 4 or 5. Wow. So when Mum would go into hospital, because my auntie lived in a different suburb, it wasn't feasible for her to be trying to get me to school and her daughter. So I would go to the school that was there, and sometimes I lived with friends from primary school. So no, there was someone else. No, they weren't from there was another family that came into our lives. I don't know how they came into our lives, but I lived with them for a little while as well, and so then went to the primary school around that area. And
so you moved. So how much time would you have spent in each school? So is that through primary school?
Yeah, so I'd sort of go back and forth. Depend, because the longest I think I was away Mum was in hospital for was like 9 months or something. Wow. So it wasn't just, sometimes it would be might be a couple of weeks, but then other times it was like months at a time. So
how did you gain any traction at school with teachers or friends? Like were your teachers really supportive? Well, you probably don't remember much
I really don't remember. And it's funny, like when the girls try and ask me things about my childhood, I find it really difficult sometimes to remember.
That
I'm
box
like,
is closed.
yeah, I think it is a bit like that.
Mum's moved on.
Yes, yeah, exactly.
Not too painful.
Yeah, well, I think that's what it is. Yeah.
What about high school? What was
high school
like?
was different. I was at the one high school, which was good. So I think by the time I got to high school, Mum must have stopped going to hospital.
Okay. So things were a bit more stable.
No, there was still times when she was very unwell. And my auntie and Mum had a big falling out too. So it was like she couldn't really rely on my auntie as much, I think. I'm not sure. Yeah,
so
I don't know.
You were effectively parenting your brother then?
Yes, yeah.
Okay.
I would look after him a lot when Mum couldn't, like when she couldn't get out of bed and things like that. So it was tricky. Our relationship became very blurred because I was like the second mum, and when he was going through his teenage years, he didn't need another mum. He just needed a sister. So that was tricky. Yeah. And we're still trying to navigate through that sometimes, I think. I really have to sort of, when I'm talking to him, not go into that nagging mode. Yes, yep. And just listen. Yeah, well that's, yeah.
Where you take on that mum role.
Yes,
rather than sister. Yeah, that's interesting.
Yeah.
Did you go on any trips or outings that you remember back then?
Yeah, we used to go on we used to go away quite a lot before my brother came along.
Okay.
We'd go to Queensland a lot.
Oh, yeah.
So I remember being I remember the plane trips there.
I was going to say driving, plane. Hello.
Yes, yep.
Silver spoon?
Yeah, exactly, if you don't mind.
Yeah.
And that expo.
Did you know someone up there? Oh, Expo 88.
Yes. Yeah, we went to that.
Yeah.
And, so I do remember lots of trips.
Oh, that's cool.
That way. So that was a lot of fun. I just remember my cousin and I being in the pool all the time.
Oh, how cool is that?
Yeah.
So you've got good memories then of that
Yes,
time.
Yep.
Some different, a whole mixture.
Yes,
yeah,
yep.
Right.
Yep.
And what would Christmas then look like for you guys? Christmas traditions?
Well, it used to be Mum was one of 8, so for a while there she was close with a few of her siblings. So I remember going over to a couple of aunties' houses.
One of 8? You just don't hear that now.
No.
One of 1, one of 2.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And if you do hear about it, it's like, wow, it's uncommon. But
so you had how many cousins? Lots of cousins.
Oh my
then?
God, I've got so many cousins.
Oh, how cool.
Yeah, and I'm close with quite a few of them, which is really lovely.
That's the best.
Yep.
That's really
and
cool.
the female gene must be strong because there's lots and lots of girls in our family. My poor brother always says, oh, God.
Full of females.
Yes, yeah. Like when we get together, it's just my husband's like, oh, my God.
What's the age gap between you all? Or is it within a couple of years each?
No, I think the eldest is early 50s and the youngest would be 30s, I think.
Okay.
So, yeah.
That's good.
Yep. Yeah,
and
it's nice.
As well?
Yes, yep. Oh. So we don't get together often, but when we do, it's really lovely.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah,
cousins are the best.
They are definitely.
Well, we're going to move into your family life as an adult. Now, I do know the answer to this, but then maybe there's been others. Are you or have you ever been married?
Yeah, maybe there's been others.
With your first husband?
Yes, just the once. Yes, just the once. Yep, happily married.
And do you have children?
Yes, I have 2 beautiful girls.
2 girls. What are some traditions you've established in your family as an adult, I guess, thinking about your childhood, and what's something that was really important to you when you had your kids to establish with your unit, I guess?
I think the biggest thing is consistency and reliability, that it's mum or dad that's cooking the dinner and, tending to the other child's needs. It's the parents doing what parents should be doing and the kids being kids.
Parents being responsible.
Yes.
And that's hard too because, I mean, with your mum, a lot of that would be it can't be helped. But,
yes.
But then you still need a mum and parents and people to parent you.
Exactly.
It's a tricky situation.
It is, yeah. And it leaves you with lots of conflicting feelings, lots of resentment and anger which then turns to guilt. And because I was only 19 when Mum died, you know, it's not until I was in my adulthood that I felt I understood her better. So then I felt robbed of, you know, not being able to connect with her as an adult, you know.
Yeah.
And it's funny, I sometimes hear myself, like, because I used to think that my brother was the favourite and she loved him more, and then I catch myself saying something to my eldest daughter, and I get that it was just Mum was just protecting my brother because he was the youngest. You know, I was that little snooty teenager that was just a smart ass to my brother. So she would defend him, and I'm finding I'm doing the same
and
at
you're
home.
seeing she's favouring you.
Yeah. And so, you know, I wish I could say to her, oh, Mum, I get that now. Sorry, I thought, you know, that he was the favourite.
It's interesting you say that. I remember Amanda Keller talking about when she left home and that, you know, leaving home and her mum was so devastated and all of these things that her mum would have felt at the time. She didn't think about it. Off she went. She was living life. But when her boys are doing the same thing, because her mum has passed away, but she wanted to be able to say to her mum, oh, thank you, because I know what that feeling is like, that you just did everything because you cared and it wasn't to annoy me, but it's just – and she said just being able to – wanting to say to her – thank you, because at the time she said, I was just leaving home. I was so excited to leave home and start a life and all of the things that she's got looking forward to, but now her boys have done the same thing. And, it's kind of the same – reminds me of that. And I guess what trips or outings have you done as your family now?
Oh, we love to get out and do road trips. So been to the Blue Mountains.
Yes.
God, that was incredible. Oh, God, that was just out of this world.
So lovely.
So beautiful. Then where else have we been? The Grampians, Sydney. Yeah, we've done things. Tasmania. We went to Tasmania last year. I've never been to Tasmania before.
I love Tasmania.
Oh, my God. I was blown away.
I don't think it gets enough credit.
No, definitely not. Definitely not.
It's little and it's often left off.
Yes.
Drawings.
Yeah, exactly. But it's just stunning. Absolutely
Whereabouts did you go in Tassie?
Oh, we did this big trip. So we were at Launceston and then we ended up Strawn
Strawn on the other side.
Yeah, so we sort of made our way up that way, went to Cradle Mountain. That was our first stop.
Beautiful.
Oh, my God.
So nice.
Wombats everywhere and just,
It's kind of untouched Tassie.
Yes.
Undiscovered.
Yes.
Almost.
Yeah. Everywhere you look, you're just like, oh, my God.
Yeah, stunning. Wineglass Bay. Did you get down to the Freycinet National Park?
Gordon River.
Okay. Yes.
Around that part, but just incredible. And Pete, you know, when it came across on the Spirit of Tasmania, so Pete took his car because he wanted to just fang around the roads, and it was great. So he did all the driving.
Oh my gosh.
We all slept in the car, and you know, would wake up going, "Look at that!
Where are we now?"
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Yeah, it was amazing.
So, what's the age gap between your girls?
8 years.
8 years.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh.
Yeah, it's really weird. It's
same as your brother.
Yes. Yeah. Very strange.
Right.
Yeah. Yep.
There you go. So you're thinking about that age gap and thinking how it relates to your girls as well.
Yeah. Exactly. Yep.
Only difference is, I guess, that they're both living in the same house.
That's right.
Yes.
Exactly.
Yeah, definitely. I'm going to move on to relationship questions. How did you and Pete meet?
Oh.
I don't know if I know this. I probably do, but I've forgotten.
Yeah. I think we spoke about this up at
how did you meet story?
Yeah, up at a nightclub. Oh. It was in Ringwood. It used to be called Denim Lounge.
Oh my God. I've heard of it. I haven't been there, but I have heard of it.
Yep.
Oh.
So, and I had a boyfriend at the time who wasn't there.
Oh.
And it just, and then my friend ended up hooking up with his friend or something, and they all came over to my place.
I was going to say, were you on the podium or?
No. But Pete,
one of those.
Yeah. Pete tapped me on the shoulder. There was a sculling competition or something. He goes, "You should be up there." I'm like, "I don't drink beer," and that was our first sort of
my goodness
conversation. Yeah. And then we must have exchanged numbers or something. And then because I had a boyfriend at the time that wasn't answering my phone calls or something. So when I finally got a hold of him and said, "You're dumped," then Pete and I got together.
So how old were you then?
21.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
So then how long had you been together before you got married?
5 years?
Okay.
No. He proposed after 5 years.
Yeah,
So it was
okay.
around 5.5, 6 years, when we got
Right.
married.
Yeah,
Yep.
that's funny.
Yep.
And what do you admire most about him?
Oh gosh. I don't think I can pick just one thing. He's very loyal,
Yeah.
and he always does the right thing.
Okay.
Always. You know, like he's the director of a company, and he wouldn't even buy an extra jar of coffee to bring home. Like he's like, no, that's like everything's, he's just always does what's right, even when it's tricky.
And it's really good, I guess, when people aren't taking advantage of their positions,
Absolutely. Absolutely.
How corruption begins.
Yeah, exactly.
What's some of your best fun memories that you've had together before the kids? Or these stories can't be aired?
Yeah.
The kids can't listen to it? Or...
You know what? Since becoming a parent, I've said to Pete, it's underrated how much enjoyment you get out of making your children cringe. Like, it's just, and we just enjoy it so much.
Bring it on, all right. Oh, my gosh. I love it.
It's
I
yeah.
love it.
No, well, we used to. Oh, we wouldn't go out.
It's a long time ago when you think about
it is.
before
I'm like,
children,
hang
what was
on.
that?
Did that actually happen? Wasn't I born with children? What do you mean?
That's true. That's right. Born a mother. That's right.
That's right. Well, he was studying at uni when we got together. So,
Okay.
We would, like, my group of friends became good friends with his group of friends. So we would sort of go out. But often Pete wouldn't come because he would study. Like, he was that dedicated to his studies. So yeah, and having a great old time, God, vomiting in an alleyway somewhere,
You hear that, kids?
Yes. He's told them.
Gosh,
He's told Michaela
priceless.
before. The amount of times I held your mum's hair back. I'm like, and look how I turned
That's true
out.
love
Don't
right
drink.
there. Did you end up drinking beer?
I did, yes, for years.
That's funny.
Stop
That's
now,
funny.
but yeah.
Oh, my gosh.
No, I'm just trying to think. We would go. I don't know. Yeah, he was studying. So,
Okay. What was he studying at the time?
mechanical engineering.
Okay.
Yeah. Yep. So he'd sort of done it, and it didn't come easy to him. Like, he had to
Yeah.
work hard at it. So,
Yeah.
and that's another thing. Another reason I fell in love with him. He's just his dedication,
Yeah.
to his studies. Where I was sort of like, woo, anything goes type thing. Like, just go with the flow, which I kind of still am.
Just dedicated
He
to
was
it.
just very disciplined,
Yeah.
and no, I've got to study. I'm not coming out. So, yeah,
Despite the fun that you were having.
yeah, that's it.
Oh, my
exactly.
goodness. Are there any quirks or personality traits that you particularly love about him? They're a bit different.
Oh, his sense of humour,
Okay.
but then sometimes I'm telling him off for his sense of humour. So, but I think his biggest enjoyment in life is just to bait me and tease me. He just loves it more than anything else.
Oh, that's perfect.
But he's and it's one of those things sometimes where, the thing you fell in love with them for, it's the thing that shits you the most. Like, he's got to have a particular fork, and
Yes.
like if we get takeaway, he's going to hate me for this. If we get takeaway coffee, like if they've put the seam of the coffee cup has to be on the right. Like
Okay.
we think there's a undiagnosed, something going on there.
OCD, we have to have it in a certain way.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yep.
yeah.
Yep.
Oh, my gosh.
And yeah, it's who took my fork? Oh, mate, just grab a fork. Like, I'm like,
There's a drop.
just use your fingers. Who cares? But yeah, no, it's very,
Just
very
like things in certain ways.
Yes.
Yeah.
And
I think everyone has an aspect of
everyone
like
has
that.
some quirky thing,
that
but
they
he's
like things.
very fussy too, very fussy. Like, we've got a puppy at the moment, she's ruining everything, and he's struggling with that because
no.
he takes care of everything.
Yes.
Like, you know.
This isn't in the schedule.
No,
Yeah,
that's right.
no.
Yes. Yeah.
Everything's thrown out now. Like it's
No, he'll probably
out
still
of whack.
keep it for 20 years. Like he
Yes.
can't throw things out.
Oh, that's so funny.
That's not something I love though.
So he's a hoarder and he's got OCD.
Oh my God. Oh, when we
Love
moved
you.
house. Yeah, love you, babe. I really do.
She's winking. No. Oh, that's gorgeous though. But I think that it's finding those nuances and then acknowledging yourself, you know, as I say, one isn't perfect, but
Yes,
it's also
yep.
lucky I'm perfect.
Yeah.
That is really funny. Well, just when you touched on there about uni and studying, looking at work and profession, what was your first job?
Target.
Oh, I thought it was the stripper on the podium.
Yeah, you should have said that.
Damn it.
Damn
That was your second job.
The men's club.
Target, nice. Yeah, men's club. Oh, that's where all the cashes come from. I've seen those moves.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah,
So
good
how
old
old were you?
Target. 15.
Spot on.
Yeah. Yep.
Excellent.
Yeah. We were talking about it the other day at work about, you know, I remember going to the little office at the back and you'd hand your pay slip or something and they'd give you an envelope with cash in it.
Yes.
That made me feel old.
Yes.
Yeah.
I worked at Speed's Shoes like when I
Yes,
was a teenager.
yep.
And yeah, it used to come in a yellow envelope and it had the tax written on it and it was
Yes.
it was cash.
Yeah. Yep. How
Yeah.
bizarre,
How old
hey?
are we?
Yeah, I know. It makes you feel old, doesn't
Isn't
it?
that crazy?
Yeah.
And what is your professional job now? There's been a few little pivots in that
Oh,
little,
gosh.
little moment.
There's, at the moment, yeah, it's very up and down at the moment.
Yes.
So at the moment I'm working sort of like in an administration role, documentation, archive, or, you know, registering documents and all that sort of stuff. Yeah.
Quite different to your profession.
Yes, as an early childhood
So when did you
educator.
when did you start studying for that? Your diploma way back when?
I was doing my traineeship. I ended up finishing it when I was on maternity leave with Eve.
Oh, okay.
Yes, yep. But I've been an educator. Oh, I think it's now 20 years.
Yes.
So yeah, sort of done a few things in between.
What did you do before that?
Oh gosh, I've done a few different things. Like I worked in a pharmacy for a while.
Okay.
Worked as a receptionist.
Oh, I thought you'd early childhood was your whole gig. Like that.
No,
Yes.
no. I sort of, would move.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then working in a petrol station for a while.
Okay.
I loved that. Oh, I
Yes.
loved that. You get your regular customers.
Yeah.
They were always so friendly. I really enjoyed that. Yeah, so, yeah.
Did you get a staff discount with petrol?
No.
Dodgy.
No, I know.
Wow.
Yeah, so it wasn't until just before Mickey or a little bit before I had Mickey that I started in early childhood.
Yeah.
And it was one of those things that you sort of, you know, I like kids, you know,
Yeah.
I'm good with kids, I can do this, and it's
Just evolved.
yes.
And then you
yes.
did have a change of heart and change of career, wanting to do something different. Things, get a little bit tricky in our jobs.
Yes,
Yes,
definitely. And
yes.
I was very burnt out. So I tried being a gardener. Tried that for a little while. Loved it.
Yes.
But just I couldn't on the body. I couldn't do, you know. And like it was just there to sort of help out. It was an extra pair of hands. So
Okay.
I really didn't know what I was doing, you know. But it was just like, and you know, I'm always willing to give anything a go.
Yes,
so I was like,
I love
I'll get
that.
in there, get stuck into it. Tried tram driving.
That was the biggest shock is when you said you did what? You could be a tram driver. Like,
Yeah.
that is a massive pivot.
It's everyone that I told. One person
That's
even
gold.
went, you could have given me a million guesses and that would not have been on the list. And I'm like, I know.
That's so good. So when did you pick that up? Was it last year or?
No, it was only this year. God,
Oh, okay.
I started in April or May, I think, but I only lasted a couple of months. It's tough. It's really tough, and I underestimated how tough it would be.
Really? So did you get training in terms of driving the trams?
Yes,
or-
yes. So it's like 4 weeks at
Okay.
an academy, but 2 of those weeks you're actually driving as well. So you've got a trainer beside
like a
you.
learner driver almost.
Yeah, yes, yep. And look, I originally went into it for the money.
Yeah.
You know, we'd bought a new house. The mortgage was bigger. I'm like, this is a great way to earn big bucks.
Yeah.
You know, I thought I'm not doing anything else on a Friday night. You know, I can work weekends and just I didn't and I was in a place where I still didn't know what I really wanted to do.
Yeah.
You know, after getting burnt out, I was like, I'm so lost.
What now?
What do I do? You know, so I thought I'll give it a go, but it was just very isolating. They've got a tough gig, you know, and the hours are hard. And oh my God, Jody, people see a tram and it's just a red rag to a bull. They've got to get in front of it. I'm talking about
driving,
pedestrians as well, and drivers, and
no
just
respect.
No respect, no understanding of how much it takes to stop this massive machine in time so it doesn't hit you, you know. Oh, it was. I used to say to people, I feel like a meerkat. I was constantly like looking around. If I wasn't bored stupid because I'd been up and down 5-6 times the same route, if I wasn't bored stupid, I was like, oh my God.
Because people just jump in front of you.
Oh, it's unbelievable. And the pedestrians, especially in the city, like there should be classes. I think there should be classes for people. Anyone that works in the city, you need to know how to be around trams.
Yeah.
People would get off your tram and then want to cross the road and walk in front of you. It's like, you've just been on my effing tram.
Yeah,
like, how do you
sure.
not remember that I'm here? You know, I'm about to take off. You need to give way because I've got.
You wait there.
Yeah. Because I've got,
goodness.
you know, a stop down the road with 50 people on it that are grumpy because I'm stuck in traffic.
Because you want to cross the road.
Yeah, because you want to cross the road and you think you're
never
entitled
really thought
to
about it.
Yeah, oh, it was such an eye-opener. It really was. What would used to get me is the pedestrians that would walk in front and give you like the thank you wave.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not actually giving way. You haven't given me a choice. I'm not doing this because I want to,
That's
you know.
gold.
Oh
my God, Elisha. That's, eye opener, I guess, in your respect for trams.
Absolutely, a big.
How long do people stay in the job?
There was people that have been there 20, 30 years.
God, their nerves would be frayed by then.
Well, you know, no, I think they become complacent.
Oh, fair enough.
And
just run the people over.
I actually got to the point, and I was only a couple of months in, where I was like, if I hit you, it's on you.
Well,
you know, I'm not taking blood pressure tablets because you're an idiot. You know. Like, this was more people in cars, you know, like not, just ridiculous. Oh,
wow.
And you can, and it, I've got a bigger respect for people in public transport because they've got a pretty shitty job and they're not appreciated, you know. So yeah, yeah, and I was just like, this isn't for me. I can't do this.
No,
I haven't got what it takes.
Gave that a shot.
Yeah, and look, it was. Oh my God, I was so far out of my comfort zone. Like, I'm not a city girl. I couldn't tell you where anything was. And here I was driving in the city every day. You know, it was just incredible.
Oh my gosh, that's gold.
Yep.
Yeah. What streets are? I don't know.
I don't know. Just get on. I might go there. I might not. You know?
That's brilliant. At least there's a track. You know.
Exactly. Yeah, but there's still, you've got to check your points because you could go one way instead of the other. It used to be like, hang on, am I going left? But there was announcements on the tram. He was my best friend. Though that voice, I always wanted to find out what his name was.
He helped you through a tough time.
After the next stop, we'll be turning right.
Oh, thank God.
Thanks, Gordon.
Now I know where we're going.
It's all right, everyone. You'll get home.
That's perfect. I love that. What did you want to be when you grew up? Stripper on a podium.
Yes, yeah. Tram driver. Tram driver stripper.
Oh, my gosh.
That could be like a pub crawl.
There's a
thing.
service.
Yes.
I've seen those party buses.
Yeah, there you go. Party tram.
Oh, my gosh. What did your mum do as a job?
She didn't work when So she worked in a pharmacy, which she absolutely loved. And then one night on the way home, her co-worker was driving her home and they were involved in a horrific car accident. So Mum was smashed up pretty bad, and that's where her life went, you know.
How old was she when that happened?
I want to say 19.
Oh, okay.
I remember her telling me she had her 21st birthday in rehab. Like she had to learn to walk again and everything.
Oh,
It was,
wow.
it was full. They had jaws of life, it was pretty
Very traumatic.
full on. Yeah, yep.
So how old was she when she had you?
I think she was 24.
Okay, yeah.
And because that's another thing, she was sort of told that she wouldn't be able to have kids because her pelvis had been, I think it was broken in 8 places.
Well, she's been through a hell of a lot.
She'd been through hell, Jodie. Yeah,
God.
yes, yep. And it just, it unfortunately it would just, like she was always in chronic pain, so therefore she relied on prescription medication, became addicted, then mental health issues, and it was just
kicked off a whole load of stuff.
Yeah, yep.
Man.
Yeah. But she used to, that would make her light up when she talked about pharmacy. She loved that.
Oh,
yeah.
Just the contact with the customers every day.
Yeah. And I think she liked like the beauty side of it.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So is there anything that you wanted to be when you grew up, specifically?
Like nurse,
Yes.
something sort of in that caring, nurse or a teacher.
Yeah. Would you go back and study now to do nursing?
No.
What's next on the list?
I want to get back into early childhood.
Yes.
Yeah. I'm really, after getting burnt out, and it was pretty tough for a little while.
Having a break from it.
And then you lose that sense of identity and who am I, and it wasn't until like that time to heal, and I just went, you know what, I'm ready. And I think what I appreciated about the tram job is it made me really know, right, okay, this is what I want to do. I want to get back into early childhood. This is where I am.
That's funny you say that about identity. I think, well, for I guess majority of people, sometimes who you are is the job that you do.
Absolutely,
and that's really connected to who you are.
Yes.
If you don't have that, like you're saying, you're going, well, what am I? Who am I?
Yeah, yep.
Like you feel a bit lost.
Absolutely. And I didn't fully understand that or appreciate it until I didn't have it anymore.
Yeah, fair enough.
I was like, wow, it really is true,
Isn't it interesting?
Yeah.
All right, we're going to talk about your passions and interests. So tell us about your favourite music or bands and describe your first concert experience. Who to sing first concert?
I saw Transvision Vamp.
Oh, I love it. Oh my gosh. Yeah. Now I've got a massive mental blank, but I always know her name. Oh.
I couldn't even tell you. Is it something James? No.
Wendy James.
Oh, there you go.
Yes.
It is. But you know what's funny? I don't think I even really liked her music. It was because my best friend at the time loved her, and I just idolised this best friend. I just copied everything she did. Yeah, and she loved them, so Mum got us tickets.
Do you remember where it was?
No.
Gosh.
No. I remember Mum came with us, but she didn't stand with us because that wasn't cool.
Transvision Vamp.
And I remember the drummer threw
the drumsticks.
Yeah, one of the drumsticks, and there was a girl in front of us that caught it. I don't remember much of the night. I remember Mum just sort of looking over, and Mum was in the back. And I think now, and I'm like, you poor bugger.
How old were you?
I must have been 12, I think, because I was in grade 6. Yeah.
Yes.
Yep.
So
pretty young.
Going to a concert.
I know. And for Mum to buy like 3 tickets, it was pretty good of her.
That's awesome. She's awesome.
She was.
Oh my gosh. So favourite movies, TV shows, actors?
Oh God, Grease.
Yes.
Oh, I remember going to the video shop every single week and just rehiring Grease.
Did you?
I love, and if it comes on now, and just that end, the bit where Olivia Newton-John jumps out of nowhere at the fest, at the fete or whatever it is. I just have a vivid memory of jumping off the couch, just
trying to be her in her lycra pants.
Yeah. But then it wasn't until years later when I watched it with Mickey that I was like, they're talking about condoms, like that scene in the drive-through. I had no idea.
We're saying it broke, and I'm thinking because he says something my 25% insurance policy.
But
I think like as a grade 6 or 12-year-old's like, what is that?
But and I don't know if
how did it break?
Yeah, I've had it since grade something. Yes,
I had no idea. Yeah, not a clue.
I know, isn't it funny? Yeah,
but they didn't really mention that. It was just the word wasn't mentioned at all. In
no,
that scene. That's really funny.
Yeah.
I thought the same thing, Alicia. Very, very funny. And moving on to family and friendships, and describe your friendships and how valuable they are to you.
I think, like, I've got a beautiful friend that I've had since high school, and we're still in touch. It's one of those things that, you know, where you may not talk for 6 months and then pick up the phone and it's like nothing, you know.
Absolutely.
I don't know. When I think about it though, I'm trying now as I get older to put more effort into friendships, but it's not something I've put a lot of focus in.
Yeah.
And I think it's because moving around a lot when I was younger, you know, you didn't sort of attach yourself. So it was, So I often, I used to love watching Sex in the City, and I hated all the romance stuff, and it was always the friendships.
Yeah.
And, you know, I'd have a little cry watching it, and I would think, God, I'm missing out on that.
Yes.
But it's by my own choice, you know. You've got to put in what you expect to get out. Yeah. So, I mean, I've got friends, and I've certainly got people that I could ring up and go, oh, my God, I need you right now.
Yes.
But it hasn't been until sort of later in life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I think when people accumulate friendships, it could be through high school or then studying and work, and as they go along, and then when their kids have friends and sometimes friendships parents, through that.
Yes. Yep.
But having moved around a bit with schools and things, like, and houses and everything not being as stable as what you would have wanted it to be.
Yeah.
That sets the pace then maybe for later on in life.
Yeah, I think it does. Yeah, you know, when your brain's developing and those monumental times in your life, it's sort of, as I got older, it's just like, you know.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, can you share, I mean, you've mentioned a few already, is life's turning points. Can you share a significant turning point or moment of realisation in your life?
Oh, look, the a monumental one would be when Mum died, I would say. Yeah, yep.
Especially, I guess, after everything that you've been through with her when she's then passed away at, how old was she?
Oh, she was 42.
Yes, that's young.
So young. Like I'm 45, you know, I've outlived her.
Yeah.
It's bizarre to think that way.
Yeah.
And our relationship was volatile just before she died. So that was really, really hard to deal with.
In terms of her health or just?
Well, I had a lot of anger about, you know, the way I grew up, and I was angry with her for being addicted to these pain medications, and I felt like she wasn't trying hard enough, and just all these different things. And I was angry that, you know, my brother and I didn't get to grow up together, and it was just, like it was because I moved out of home when I was 17. So those couple of years, it was just, I was angry at her. And
so you were 19 when she passed away.
Yes.
Yeah, right.
Yep. Yeah. You know, like I remember she come to visit me when I was living with this boyfriend, and, you know, she wanted to link arms with me in the shopping centre, and I was just like, I just wish you'd fuck off, you know.
Yeah.
And it took me a long time to forgive myself for that. You know, it's like, God, Elisha, you know, you'd gone through a lot. Be kind to yourself.
Cut yourself some slack.
Yes, but the guilt nearly killed me, you know, for quite a few years after she died, because she committed suicide. So that was
after all that.
Yeah. She just couldn't fight it anymore.
Just so troubled for so long.
Yeah. And she tried a couple of times. So, you know, it was,
How did you find out?
Oh, it was really bizarre. So my brother she'd taken my brother. She'd arranged for my brother to have that respite with that foster family for that weekend.
Okay.
And it's really sad, actually. He's got a story to tell about that. He just knew something was off with her that day, and I still don't think he's forgiven himself. And he's in his 30s.
How are you supposed to know?
Exactly. But we got a call from the foster dad saying, I think something's happened. So we called, and for some reason, because I was living in Greensborough at the time with this boyfriend, but then I was working at a Target in Box Hill,
Okay.
and my auntie lived there.
Okay.
And for some reason, I just felt unsettled all day. So I thought, I'm going to go and stay at my auntie's tonight. And thank God I did. And so we rang Mum's unit, and a police officer answered the phone.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah. And, my auntie was like, what's going on? And they were like, oh, so some police will come around. And I just remember running out of the unit just screaming, And then it was like, no, nothing's happened, just wait. And, then the police came.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah, so I guess they had to be at Mum's unit to find out where to find next of kin. I don't think I ever found out how the foster dad knew, though. I can't remember how he – I can't
so your
remember.
brother would have been 11 or something?
11, yeah.
Oh,
They must have had their details and called them or something.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, gee.
Yeah.
What a tragic end.
Yeah.
Jeez,
Yeah.
Elisha. And then you're sitting there with all this anger and she's passed away and you're like,
yes.
now
Yeah.
what?
Yeah. And, and I remember doing her eulogy and a friend's mum coming up to me afterwards, and isn't it weird the things that pop into your head? Like I was only thinking of this friend the other day, and then this memory popped in my head of the mum just saying, it's not your fault. And she had this look in her eyes, and it was a look of, when you can't put an old head on young shoulders. And
Yes.
and I remember in the eulogy just telling Mum how sorry I was. And, and I just think now, God, if I could meet my 19-year-old self and just, give that kindness. But it's taken a lot of therapy to get where I am.
I bet.
Yeah. And just a lot of, you've just got to forgive yourself, you know. It's, you deal with things the way you do at the time. Like,
That's right. The decisions that you made at the time were right for you at the time, and you couldn't have done anything different.
No, that's right. It's all I had in
but looking
my
back,
arsenal at the time.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yep.
Oh, Elisha, that's huge stuff, and that is absolutely a significant turning point for you. Had that not have happened, then I guess what life would have been like, but then your trajectory then changed. Okay, well, now I have to deal with everything that's happened and her death, and how do I move on from this?
Exactly.
And be a relatively functioning adult in life. And 19 as well.
Yeah, that's right. Yep. And then, not being separated from my brother, like he stayed with the foster family. That was really hard. And then I started to hate them, and I wasn't kind to them, because I didn't want him to be living with them.
Yeah.
I didn't want him having breakfast with them every day. It wasn't fair, It was,
And you'd moved out of what, at home? Would you say 17?
So I ended up moving back in with my auntie.
Okay.
And things fell through with that boyfriend. I mean, and as they do, like, I don't think it was to do with the death of Mum. Like, I'm not.
Is your auntie still around?
We no longer speak. Yes.
Oh, gee.
Yeah, and that was hard as well. That was another big sort of loss of a relationship.
Very important one too.
Very, yeah. And it was like another rejection for me. Yep.
Oh, that's a shame. Oh, Elisha. Well, we're going to lighten up for this next segment, and it's called Curious Corner, where we ask curious questions about our guests. Now, I reckon there'd be quite a few for this one. Can you recall a time where you just couldn't stop laughing at something?
Oh, my God.
Who does it involve?
Oh, far out. I laugh quite a lot, actually.
You do.
I laugh a lot.
You do. I love it.
And I find it's a really good release.
Yes. And when you can't stop, that's the
when
best.
You, when
it's
you
also the worst, but
it's yes, yeah. And the amount of times where I've to go, I've just wet myself. Like, I used to be at work with Jojo, and we would both be like, I've got something funny to tell you, but I've got to go to the toilet first because I know I'm going to wet my. And then she'd come back into the room, and I'd be like, don't tell me I've got to go to the toilet.
That's hilarious.
Oh,
you need to be prepared.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know. I'm trying to think things that I can say. Does it
involve Simone Allen?
Oh, God, Simmy. I've been under the desk with her before, like just not being able to breathe. And you know when you can egg each other on, and when you start, but then what about if this and this and
it's endless.
It's yep. There's too many to think of. I can't.
Yeah,
I can't.
So good. That's good. You've got so many to choose from.
Yeah. But I do. I love a good laugh. I find it really therapeutic.
Absolutely.
And yeah. And I don't care if no one else is laughing. Do you know what I mean? Like I'll watch a video. I remember. Have you seen that video of the poor little girl with it was going around at the time where the parent was pretending to put poo on their child with
hilarious.
The toilet paper, and there was
they go, can you hold this? And
and get the poo. And there's this one particular video of this sweet little girl, and she's like and dry reaching. Oh my God, that's the funniest thing.
Oh gosh, like it's Nutella or something. And they go, can you just hold that, or can you? Oh.
And then she's going, I don't like myself. I don't like my. And I showed someone once that video that I didn't know very well, and they were just like, and I was crying. I couldn't breathe. I was laughing so much, and I remember there was that little voice going, Elisha, they don't find it funny, and then I was like, I don't care. This is hilarious.
That's their problem.
Yeah.
That is. I've seen that a few times, but it's still
gets
good.
me all the time.
And what an idea!
Yeah, I know. But I wouldn't be able to pull it off because I haven't got a good poker face. I'd be laughing before it even happened.
True.
You know,
actually, the parents in it are so believable that the kid's just like, okay,
yeah. Yeah, I mean, look, when they start crying, that's when I'll scroll.
I've gone too far.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, that's when I'm like, I'm not laughing anymore. But the dry reaching, I can't breathe.
It's brilliant. It's a brilliant idea. And if you could have any superpower for a day, what would it be?
Oh, I think I remember this show when I was growing up, and she had this thing where she had her fingers, and if she could, like her pointer fingers, and could connect the two of them, and it would freeze time.
Oh.
And then she would clap, and then it would unfreeze it. So I've always thought that would be awesome.
Freezing time.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just stop it for a sec.
Yeah, or like, and just be able to go, I'll do this or do that and make it just like
that.
Yeah.
Oh.
I'm so fabulous. I did that in a split second. I wish I could remember it. I don't know if she was an alien or something. I just remember thinking that would be an awesome power. And then she could, if she put her hands on someone, she could unfreeze them, but then everything else would still be frozen. Okay. Yep.
Yes.
So that'd be a pretty cool superpower, I reckon.
That's a good one. And this one, so name 5 people you would invite for dinner and why. Some people that you would never expect to meet.
Oh. All right, I'll say Lando Norris. He's an F1 driver that Michaela just idolises. So I'd just love to see her reaction. So for her. Miley Cyrus for Eve.
Okay.
Eve loves Miley Cyrus. Do they have to be celebrities or just
anyone?
Oh, God.
Shout out to Lando Morris then.
Yeah.
And Miley Cyrus.
Yeah, that's it. My mum.
Yes.
For sure. And Peter's dad.
Oh,
yeah, because he passed away before we got together. I would have liked to have met his dad.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Yep.
Oh.
Yep. Is that 5?
Yeah, that's good. I think so, yeah. But some people have struggled to get to the 5, but that's all good. Now, this one, if you could choose one song to play every time you walked into a room, what would you choose?
Oh, my God, Total Eclipse of the Heart.
Bonnie Tyler. I love when people answer straight away.
Yep.
Spot on.
Yep, that's my song. Like, I have to contain myself if it comes on at work, and I've actually said to a colleague before, look out, it's on.
It's my song.
Yep.
I love it.
I used to mime it when I was little, and just I was very theatrical apparently, and like I do it all the time even now. Yep.
Her hair. She had such great hair in that film clip with the hair.
Yeah.
Oh, Bonnie Tyler, is she still around today?
I don't know.
Miss 70 or something.
I wonder if she's still got the hair.
Signature dish to cook?
Oh.
My brain always goes to like a main meal. Yet someone answered the other day and it was a dessert. And I was like,
oh, yeah.
I always think of a dinner.
I can think of plenty to eat, but I don't know. Like cooking to me is like it's a necessity. Like you
We
know,
have to eat.
yeah,
Yes.
you got to eat. But then I'm also one of those annoying people that, we haven't got that, so I'll just chuck that in. And, Peter's often like, you've got to follow a recipe.
Oh, I'm very much a recipe follower.
Yeah, see, I'm not. I'm like, I haven't got that.
Oh.
Or, 100 grams of carrot, I'm going to put 300 in. Like, because, I'm just, I'm not.
Yes.
So I've got a Thermomix, which is amazing because it's got scales and everything, But
Is it good?
oh, amazing.
Everyone who has one loves
Amazing.
them.
Love it. Like I can bake with this.
How long have you had it for?
Couple of years.
Okay.
And I love it.
Yeah.
Absolutely love it. Like I'm a master chef. Thank you very much.
Check this out.
Yep.
That's
yep.
awesome. That's
Yep.
good.
So I haven't got anything that I would
Yeah. So the Thermomix has signature dishes to cook.
Yes. Yep.
Alicia just serves them.
Yeah, that's it. That's exactly
Do you have
right.
a nickname, Thermy, or
No.
was it Boris or something?
No, we've got a vacuum, one of those robot vacuums.
yes.
It's RoboCop. We call it. I don't know how that came about, but that's RoboCop. But no, the Thermomix doesn't.
I know.
Have a name.
That's
That's a bit ungrateful,
Just
isn't
need
it?
to name it, actually.
Got to give it a
Rude.
sense of identity.
Oh my gosh. Now this one, I've injured myself so many times. I'm so clumsy and I'm always curious about other people's injuries. Can you tell us about a time where you've accidentally injured yourself?
Oh, bloody all
Does
the
it involve
time.
alcohol?
Yes, well, yeah. Oh, yes. Good question. I'm going to not let the girls listen to this part. I've got a couple of scars on my head.
Oh.
Yep.
Oh.
Yeah, one was a hospital trip.
Oh. What did you do?
I was we'd been out drinking. Surprise, surprise. Pete had gone home early. He's like, I'm out. And then so his mate and I were. This is when I was still living in Ringwood. Yeah, so we were looking for Christmas.
Bunny.
Oh, I know, not anymore. Thank God. But we were looking for Christmas lights, and I went to jump on his back. Because he's like, come on. And then he just went forward and I just smacked my head on bricks or something. And I remember kind of going, oh, that feels warm, and it was blood. And his mate just went, he didn't say, are you okay? Let's get you home. He just went, we're in so much trouble because he knew Pete was going to get so shitty that I got hurt.
Shivers.
So, an ambulance was called and everything. Yeah, I had to get a couple of stitches.
Oh, shivers.
And they gave me the green whistle and I don't remember getting to hospital.
Heavens.
Yeah.
What did Peter say? Oh, here she goes again.
Yeah, probably.
On the terps.
God. Yeah. And my poor brother, he was living with me at the time. So he came home and I'd already been taken to the hospital at that stage, but Pete's mate was still there. And so he's come home and there's blood all on the sink and everything. And apparently he came running out the front door like with a knife or something and like looking for me. Like, where's my sister? Well, his mate was like, it's all right, it's all right.
It's been an intruder.
Yeah.
She just headbutted the bricks. Oh, my God.
Exactly.
That's so bad. Ooh. So if you could do things differently, what career would you choose?
Oh.
If you could choose any career, what would it be? Did you ever consider like the social work side of things with your mum and things that she'd gone through, that looking at that side of I guess, the health industry?
Yes, definitely. Yep. But I think in early childhood
you would be amazing at that because you've got that lived experience in so many ways. I mean, that trauma area is full on.
Yes,
no
yeah.
doubt. But yeah.
Yeah. I don't know.
Hard yakka that would be.
Definitely. And I think, well, I know with having my own family, I wouldn't want that to get in the way. Like that happened at, that before, like where I was coming home and I wasn't present. My mind was, with the with work and things like that. So I think I would find that hard.
Yeah. To detach at the end of the day.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, so I don't know. I think it would possibly still be in early childhood. Definitely something with people. I need to connect with people.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And helping in some sort of way.
Yeah, but at the same time protecting yourself.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's a funny thing because when you're in that space, you give 150% and then also part of yourself. So
yes,
it's hard to draw that line to just make it, I think,
absolutely,
for your own safety.
Exactly.
All of the safety involved.
Yep.
from a physical to a mental to
everything. Yeah,
'cause it's very
absolutely.
taxing.
Oh, absolutely.
Oh, gosh. What are you most proud of in your life?
I think I'm at a place where, I am liking myself more and accepting myself more. So I think when I look back at my past and, the experiences I've lived, I'm proud of the place I'm at now.
Yeah.
I could have gone left instead of right.
For sure.
And, it could be a whole different scenario.
Yeah,
so,
absolutely.
yeah, I'm proud
Could have
of.
gone 1,000 different ways.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, that's right. So,
but you think, I guess, the effort and strength that it's taken to get you where you are today, of all of those things that you've had to endure from birth, and to have actually then, so to speak, come out on top. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's huge.
It is, and I do when I stop and really think about it, I think, yeah, you're all right. I'm
this
proud
Elisha
of you.
chick, she's
she's
good.
all right.
She's all right. She likes a laugh.
She's got a bit of a weird sense of humour, but that's all right.
That's all good. It's all good. Do you regret anything?
Regret's tricky because I think it can. You can end up being sort of too harsh on yourself. I think things happen for a reason, and I'm such a strong believer in, the power of the mind and the power of positive thinking, and I just think that, the universe has a plan for you. Things happen for a reason.
Yeah.
Yeah, look, I regret shrugging Mum's hand away that time, I guess, at the shopping centre. But, there was plenty of times I told her I loved her. So, yeah, I don't know. Probably I regret that I didn't give up drinking sooner than I did. Stop drinking. So
no
none at all. Yeah.
Yes.
Yep. So
how long ago?
Just over a year.
So a concerted effort to stop.
Yes. Gone. Yep.
Yeah.
Completely done. So
whether it was becoming an issue for you?
It was, yeah. Look, I was just finding that, I was hating myself, like that anxiety I'd get in the morning and just that, oh my God, it was such a vicious cycle of hating myself and putting myself down and it was becoming like an every night thing or every second night and, it was nothing to have like a whole bottle of wine and it was something I'd looked at and been thinking about for quite a lot of years. Okay. So, yeah, probably I wish I had have done it sooner.
Did you feel better for it?
Yeah. Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, it's interesting. And I think sometimes during COVID that became an issue for some people too.
Yeah, I don't know if it did.
Lots of things kind of came out during COVID. I think.
I mean, I know a lot of people said, they'd sort of drank heavily, but I think I was doing it before COVID, if I'm honest. Probably not as frequently, but definitely, it was never, I'll just have a glass. It was always, there
more
goes
than.
the bottle.
Yeah. So had you taken it was to a certain day or time where you thought, no, I'm going to stop from that day? Was it a self-started to stop the alcohol?
Yeah, well, I'd gone to the doctor and I'd spoken about it a lot with the doctor, and so I took the tablets and everything. And I remember coming out of the doctor's surgery and thinking, I'm going to the bottle shop. I'm going to have one last night.
Okay.
And then I was like, no. What's the point of that?
Yeah.
What is actually the point?
True.
And that was a huge turning point for me. I went to the chemist, got my script, and popped the pills straight away, and that was it. Never looked back.
So what was the medication?
I forget what it's called, but it's meant to help with the cravings. Okay. And then apparently if you do get tempted and have a drink, it makes you feel sick.
Yeah, right.
But then apparently that's not the case, that it doesn't make you sick. So I don't know. I had two different opinions two medical opinions on that. But it was to help stop the cravings.
Okay. And did you take that for some time, or
I think it was initially? About 6 months, 6 a day for about 6 months, and then you gradually wean off it.
It's good.
Yeah,
That's good. Do you know what? And I think that alcohol is very much a part of everyday conversations through advertising, through, even Facebook memes, blah, 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 blah. Have a wine.
Yes.
Going to go home, have a wine. Oh, have a wine tonight. And always my response to people is, I have a tea. I drink tea I love tea. I don't.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't really drink alcohol. It's like once in a blue moon.
Yeah,
and when I do,
yep.
it doesn't take much to be
Yeah.
laughy Jody. But yeah, I love tea. Like at my end of my day,
Cup
my
of tea.
tea maker goes on and cup of tea.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Yep. Yeah. See, I'm so much like that now.
yeah.
Whereas I used to be like, oh God, how boring.
Yeah, but
and-
people will say, every time with work and stuff, if you had a half day, go, you make sure you go and have a wine. Like even
Yeah.
parents,
Yep.
you guys better have a wine tonight.
That's and it was the thing.
I have a tea.
Is it a good day? Is it a bad day? And it always ended with, no, I'm going to have a drink. It's been a great day. I'm going to celebrate. It's been a shit day. I need a drink. And it just. Yeah.
It becomes a real problem.
Definitely.
Not for everyone, but probably for everyone, but they just haven't acknowledged it,
Yeah,
maybe.
I don't know.
Yeah.
But I talked about it a lot with my psychologist, and it became a thing for me because growing up with mum's addiction, I was like, oh my God, this is happening to my girls. I don't want this for my girls, Like I was never an aggressive drunk or things like that. But I'll be honest, there were times when I'd wake up in the morning and go, I don't remember going to bed.
Yeah.
And I've got my child in bed next to me. And I thought, my God, if the house caught on fire, that's not who I want to be. So it was going against my morals and my values. And, my psychologist was amazing and she supported me through that.
That's so good.
Yeah, yep.
So it's been 12 months.
Yes, yep.
That's
yep,
awesome.
over 12 months, 13 months now, I think.
That's
so
awesome. And you never look back.
No, I mean, look, there's times where I think, oh gosh, very rarely, but probably,
and especially around like other women. That if you look at the average table in a restaurant, pretty much everyone has a wine.
Yeah, yep,
and I'm the one that has the Coke.
Coke, yeah. Oh, see,
you
I
feel
love
like
Coke
the
now.
child at the table sometimes
Yes,
too.
yeah.
That,
Have a
like,
soft
what
drink.
are you having? Oh,
I have
just
a raspberry.
Just a Coke, thanks.
Remember the raspberry?
Have a spider.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I'm underage or something.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
I think when you do look at the average table, it is just wine.
Yeah,
females generally.
Yeah, interesting. And look, everyone's got their own journey, and like I'm not. Like I've told people openly at work, oh, look, I just became so good at it. I thought I'd turn my superpowers to something else. And it's like, I don't want to be ashamed of it. I want to talk and say, I acknowledged in myself that it was a problem, so I can't drink anymore.
That's awesome.
For me, it's not a matter of I can just have a beer at the brewery. It'd be, right, I'll stop off on the way home and get a six-pack and a bottle of wine and all this. So that's it. I'm done. I just won't have it at all.
Thinking back to, I reckon that's a turning point and moment of realisation.
Yeah, true. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh my gosh, Elisha. Well, now I didn't know. That is the end of all of my questions, and I thank you so much. You've shared so much, and as you say,
I hope I didn't share too much. I'm a bit of an open book. Like what you see is what you get.
That's it. And like you said, you get a mug for spilling your guts.
I know, I love it.
So I cannot wait to upload this. So this is part of season 2. So I thank you so much, Elisha, for sharing all of your stories, and I think it's really important when other people hear other people's stories that it resonates with them too. Because people have got lots of stuff going on.
Absolutely, hearing your other guests, it's just incredible. You're like, these people that have gone through extraordinary things, and they walk among us.
I know, for sure.
But everyone's got a story to tell.
I tell
I guess.
You, if one person says to me, I'm not that interesting, and I want to get to that and go, I'm never going to think that they're not that interesting.
Yes. Yep.
Yeah. No.
Yep.
Anyway, so thank you so much for joining me.
Thanks for listening.
See you then. Bye. Wow, what an incredible interview we had with Elisha. Now, something happened in that interview that has never happened to me before. I completely forgot to ask the hall pass question, as Elisha's story was so captivating. So the hall pass question is, if she could have a night with someone other than her partner, who would it be? And she chose Channing Tatum. So thank you, Elisha, for sharing the trauma you have endured in your life. But I love how nothing has stopped her positive thinking or her ability to heal from her life events. Elisha, your resilience will be awe-inspiring to our listeners. So, hey, a shout out to Mr. Channing Tatum for you, Elisha. Thank you so much for sharing your story with us. Tune in to our next episode where we get to hear more lives worth telling. Don't forget to check out and follow us on your socials. And if you love what you hear, please rate and review us on your favourite podcast app. Of course, if you have any questions, you can get in touch with us through the Facebook page or Instagram. If you or a friend or a family member would like to come on the show, please don't hesitate to get in contact with us. And if you want to grab yourself some merch, jump onto Redbubble to check out our products. Thanks for listening to Lives Worth Telling. See you next time.